The story begins with a man seeking solitude, moving into a quiet apartment tucked away from the chaos of the city. In an attempt to decorate his new space, he stumbles upon a peculiar antique mirror in a forgotten corner of a dusty old shop. Its frame was ornate, almost regal, and its surface shimmered with an unsettling clarity. He bought it without hesitation, unaware of its past, uninterested in its origin. He didn't ask where it came from, who had owned it, or why it had been left behind. To him, it was just a mirror, but it had been waiting for someone who wouldn't ask questions. At first, it was subtle. He'd walk past the mirror and feel watched, not reflected, but observed. One night, while brushing his teeth, he noticed something impossible. His reflection blinked, but he hadn't. He froze. The reflection smiled faintly, a twitch of the lips that didn't belong to him. He tried to laugh it off, blaming exhaustion or imagination. But the next night, it happened again. This time, the reflection moved a second too late, like a bad copy. Then came the whispers. Not from the room, but from inside his head, echoing from the mirror's surface. It wasn't just showing him anymore. It was studying him. Then, without a sound, the mirror spoke, not through words, but through thoughts that weren't his own. It invaded his mind like a whisper crawling through the cracks of memory. Suddenly, images began to flash before his eyes. Moments he had buried deep, sins he had never confessed, faces he had tried to forget. The mirror didn't just reflect, it revealed. Every lie he'd told, every betrayal, every dark impulse he thought no one knew, the mirror knew. It showed him the night he cheated, the time he stole, the moment he let someone suffer in silence. And with each memory, the mirror pulsed, as if feeding on his shame. Then came the ultimatum. The mirror, now pulsing with a sinister glow, invaded his thoughts with a chilling demand. Confess publicly or I will. It wasn't a threat, it was a promise. The man saw flashes of his darkest moments projected across screens, whispered through radio static, etched into social media feeds. The mirror had the power to broadcast his shame to the world, to expose every secret, every sin, every scream he had ever buried. He was no longer alone in his guilt. The mirror had become judge, jury, and executioner. And time was running out. He went live. With trembling hands and a broken voice, he confessed everything. The lies, the betrayals, the sins he thought he'd buried forever. Thousands watched as he unraveled, hoping the mirror would be satisfied. But it wasn't. As the stream ended, the mirror blinked again. This time, it didn't show him. It showed you. Your face. Your eyes. Your secrets. The screen flickered, and for a moment, you saw something behind your own reflection. Something watching. The mirror had moved on. It had found someone new. And now, it's waiting in your room. If you saw your reflection blink, maybe it's time to confess. Because some mirrors aren't just glass, they're gateways. They don't reflect who you are. They reveal what you've hidden. So before your secrets surface, before your past stares back at you, take a moment.
Like, share, subscribe.
And remember, the scariest stories aren't the ones we tell, they're the ones we live.